When should I take my puppy to get a haircut? Very, very great question. I love this. So first, I wanted to share briefly what is going on at a grooming appointment. So there are a lot of things going on depending on what type of grooming facility you are thinking about to take your doodle to. I would suggest the least distractions. So for example, in case you can pick a home groomer who comes to your home and grooms your doodle at home, perfect. In case you can find someone who comes to your house but they're gonna groom your doodle in their van, that's great. Those are least distractive environments, so your doodle will most likely cooperate in those areas. There's another option which is a little bit more trickier but still on the easier side, when you take your doodle to a groomer who takes one-on-one appointments only, so your doodle is going to be the only one there. I'm talking about this in details because doodles have a really high energy level and they will react. In case you say them sit, they're gonna sit down like snap, super fast. But in case they're gonna see a distraction, they're gonna react to that just as fast. So you really need an environment, a grooming environment, when your doodle can feel just relaxed and calm and there are no distractions, or virtually no distractions, or at least teeny tiny. So the thing is, whenever you take your doodle to a facility where they are dealing with multiple dogs at once, and the environment where they groom is in the same area where they let doggies run around and roam and play, is very, very distractive. So that kind of approach is really prone to wiggly dogs, and they're gonna use a lot of restraint on your doodle. Let it be a puppy or an adult one. They're gonna use the grooming loops on the neck, sometimes even a harness or another grooming loop on around the hips. So your doodle is gonna be basically hang on a table while they're gonna get groomed, because they're gonna react so much to the environment. So that's why it's super, super important to think about what kind of grooming facility you're thinking about taking your doodle to, because the first three are ideal, the others are not so much. Again, when the groomer comes to you and grooms your dog at home, when the groomer comes to you and grooms your dog in their van, and when you pick a groomer who has one-on-one appointments only. Those three are the ones I would highly recommend. Or larger facilities, in case they have separate rooms when they are grooming their doodle, their clients. Every groomer has a separate room where they groom, so the boarding and daycare clients are playing and having fun in totally specific, different area with special staff who is able to take care of them and watch them and help them whenever they get a misunderstanding between two doggies. So you really need to eliminate the distractions to make sure that your puppy is going to, you're gonna kickstart your puppy's experience with grooming, let me put it that way. Because in case they are facing with a traumatic or really, really destructive environment at the first few times or just one, then that's gonna be a negative experience for them, and prevention is always much easier and takes a lot less time than resolving and desensitizing a dog for different kind of traumatic situations. And let alone in a high distraction environment, the groomer is having way trickier time keeping the whole experience safe, because the doggy will wiggle and move and the groomer will deal with only sharp and pokey little things like the brush, the comb, the clippers, the shears, what we are using. Everything is just prone to danger, and in case the environment is set up to keep the most amount of doggies in one space at once to make the most amount of money in one hit, then the injuries are gonna more likely to happen, way more likely to happen, and your dog is going to be confined to the table with all kinds of loops. So I just wanted to leave it at that so you can decide for yourself which type of facility you are thinking about. And I'm gonna make another video how you can pick the right one and how you can analyze what is going on in one facility, and then you can decide for yourself which one would be the best. So that would be one perspective. Another thing is you really need to make sure that you're keeping your doggy safe, right? and healthy. So they're gonna get their shots in separate veterinary visits. Now you really need to make sure that you're comfortable with with the environment where you're taking your doodle. Again, in case it's a one-on-one appointment, or in case the groomer comes to you and then grooms your doggy at home, at your home, that's perfect. And in case the groomer comes to you and do it in their van, that's another awesome thing. But I wouldn't really take the doodle, my puppy, to a place where they have a bunch of doggies all at once. Whenever it comes to my clients, I always suggest that in case the puppy doesn't have all of their records yet, then we make a morning appointment when everything is cleaned up and sanitized, and of course my equipment all sanitized, but the ground I do not sanitize that only after I'm done with the day. So it's not like I'm sanitizing everything from the top to the bottom after every client. I'm doing that with the equipment and the table, but the ground where the doggies are running around is not sanitized after each client. So whenever a new puppy comes to me, then I can ask the doodle moms that whether they would be okay to bring the doodle as first dog in the morning, so they can have a super clean environment and they don't have to worry about having all of their shots. Now another thing we can do, or you can do, is, for example, in case the doggy needs their nails done, you're taking your doodle to a groomer, but you're not putting your doggy down. So in case the doggy is in your hands and they are using a clean equipment, you can go in, get the nails done, or paw hair done, or even eye area done, or sanitary done, while your doodle is still in your hands, and then you can just go home. And that's perfect. You don't have to worry about all the shots, you don't have to worry about the environment, and I just want to leave it at that. Like, that's also one way to go with this, and I think it's very handy for puppies. Another thing is practicing at home. Your doggy will be exposed to many new grooming steps, and hopefully not so new, because you're already practicing at home, and that's going to be another video. So as usual, so practicing at home will help you first to put or push out the grooming needs, in case you're okay with doing the basic stuff like paw hair trim, sanitary trim, and eye area trim, and nails. Then you don't even need to see your groomer for a good while. But you still need to do it at home, and it needs to get done. So it's very important for you to keep that in mind. It's not just like not going to the groomer and not doing anything at home, but doing a lot of things at home and not going to the groomer. So your doodle needs quite a few things to take care of. So keeping that in mind will help you big time. So again, we need to decide what our doodle's needs are, what our needs are, whether we want to do a lot of grooming stuff at home or not, and what kind of groomer or facility we are thinking about to take our doodle to for the first haircut or the first appointment. Now again, it's not, with my new clients, I usually suggest to get a face, feet, and fanny only. That way, the doggy can get used to the new environment, me, and all the things I'm going to expose them to, like the sound of the clipper, the shears, and just being on a new in a new room on a table which is moving up and down, and all the lights and all kinds of new smells, so they can just get used to it, and it's not going to be too overwhelming. The second time around, I really like to introduce them to the blow dryer, because that way, directly. On the first time they're gonna hear blow dryer, but they're not gonna get the sensation. I'm not gonna do anything like that with them. It's totally enough to deal with the face, feet, and fanny that time. The second time around, I usually give them a quick introduction with the blow dryer, but they're not gonna get blow dried. I ask the moms to do the bath and blow drying at home the previous day and keep the doodle still clean until the appointment. So I can just do the face, feet, fanny, and the haircut. That takes usually something like an hour. The face, feet, fanny is like a 30-minute thing, and the blow drying, I mean the haircut, or the full haircut, is on a prepared dog is about 30 minutes as well on a small puppy. So that's something like an hour. So that's the next step to keep the flow going and keeping your doodle exposed to all the grooming steps, not all at once, so it wouldn't be too overwhelming. Like if it were a puppy, I wouldn't do a full bath, blow drying, haircut, face, feet and fanny, everything at once, because that would take something like 2 hours, and that's way too overwhelming for doggies, who most of the time, oftentimes, they are not even exposed to the blow dryer. So, and the blow drying part can be 30-45 minutes depending on the doodle's coat. So again, I'd like to keep it low-key, and then they just cooperate. So another thing, this was another thing I wanted to consider, like keeping it smaller. So you really need to think about and educate yourself about the grooming packages, what can be done on your doodle, and ask for it. Oftentimes the grooming facilities just tell you like, get a full haircut, or you heard that it's totally okay to take your doodle to a groomer like 6 months or 1 year old, and it's okay as long as you're doing the grooming yourself at home. But most of the time it's not the case, and then the doodle ends up with a short shave and everyone freaks out, including the doodle. So so it's really, really hard, but stuff needs to get done, and you can do it at home. You can get parts of it done at the groomer, or you can let the groomer do all kinds of stuff on your doodle. And you can build the relationship with the groomer and with the environment by taking your doodle in smaller steps. So for a face, feet and fanny first, and then a haircut and face, feet, fanny only, so you're doing the bath and dry at home, and then a full haircut. So the doggy will experience everything and then get used to it. And your doodle and your groomer can get used to your dog as well, and they can build a relationship together. Or you can you can go ahead and learn everything, and you can do everything at home. And learning all the doodle grooming steps will help you to never ever go to the groomer again. You can really find everything you need on your doodle, and in case you're gonna be able to learn how to keep an eye out for trouble. So in case an ear infection is building up or some kind of yeast infection is going on around your doodle skin, then you're gonna be able to tell it that, oh, something's not right, so you can go to a veterinarian directly and have them deal with that. So I wanted to leave it at that, and if you have any questions about this and a part which I did not touch in this video, then you can just let me know below in the comments or direct messaging me, and I'm gonna be able to make a video with the answer or my part or my take on that. So better up to the grass always. I hope to see you in the next video. If you haven't already, I would love to have you as a subscriber, so please hit the like button and the subscribe below. And if you want the reminders, you can always hit the bell, and then it's gonna give you a reminder about every single new video, so you can learn with me about doodles. Take care, and see you all in the next one.